Hello there, welcome back. It's time to break down issue 1 of the Fortnite Zero War comic book series, in which Marvel heroes are back again to help us save reality. It's tough to get a series like this off the ground, so if you could do me a favour and leave a like and a comment, that would really help. Anyway, there's a lot to cover, so let's do this. The story opens in the Princess Bar. That's a Marvel drinking establishment found in a fictional country called Madripoor. It's in South Asia, and Wolverine loves to hang out here. The locals call him Patch. Suddenly, Spider-Man sits down next to him, and immediately Wolverine knows he wants some help. No, he proclaims. No to whatever insane crap you're fixing to drag me into. Before we know it, both Jones and the Imagined have joined the bar. The Imagined is being herself. She's flirting with Wolverine. She's so forward, her presence makes Peter sweat with nervous anticipation. I'm the Imagined, this is Agent Jones. We need your help, Wolverine. The four sit down with a drink, and Spider-Man tells us of the Daily Bugle's vanishing and being taken to a different reality. That explains why it's still in Fortnite right now. The Daily Bugle will be coming home soon. We are given a flashback to an epic battle between the Seven and IO, and we get a nice piece of recapping and clarification. The island is a different universe, the place where every reality came from. We are also reminded that the Big Bang Theory we're told about in science class actually formed the 0 point and reality zero. The 0 point has been controlled by the Imagined Order for thousands of years to take technology, artifacts and people from other realities. And it turns out this flashback is set during last season, season 2 of chapter 3, the Resistance storyline. So effectively this happens just before the Collider is built. The way Spider-Man explains the Foundation is top class. Imagine if Tony Stark was Nick Fury but built like the Hulk. Pretty good compliment. The recap ends with Sloane and Gunner pressing the self-destruct button. Sloane wants to cut their losses and Gunner is fine with that. This leads to our first sad moment, the death of Fish Sticks, reminding us that those outside the loop will not respawn, they are gone forever. But wait a minute, Fish Sticks has already died. If you remember the DC Fortnite comic book run, you'll vividly remember Fish Sticks being offed by Deathstroke. It seems like this is going to be a running gag. Fish Sticks will be cannon fodder in each series, kinda like Kenny in South Park. Sleep well, sweet prince. The Foundation tells 8-Ball that this Fish Sticks was a snapshot, and he'll be back in the loop any second now, revealing the real Fish Sticks is already dead. 8-Ball doesn't know how to take this. He's sort of stuck in shock. The battle we oversee is for an IO outpost. Remember these? One fell every update, and now we have info on how that happened. Sloane blew them up while retreating to prevent information from falling into the Seven's hands. 4 of the 7 are talking openly about defeating the IO, and the Visitor has an idea: to find Paradigm and the Mecha. Let's pause here for a second, as this is the first real evidence we have that Paradigm was responsible for constructing the mech and not Singularity as hinted in chapter 1. It's widely believed that Singularity and the Paradigm are the same person, but we don't know 100% for sure. We receive a bunch of lore panels to confirm everything. The Paradigm is the missing member of the 7, kind of a sensitive subject. She did a heel turn, changed sides and joined up with the Imagined Order. So there we have it, it's confirmed IO and the Paradigm worked together to build the mech in order to defeat the Polar Peak monster. The Visitor confirms that none of the 7 saw this, but the story came directly from Jones, who at the time was working for the Imagined Order too, meaning all the months of distrust of Paradigm came directly from Jones. The origin informs us the mecha crash landed on the moon and then fills in one of the biggest plot holes in Fortnite history. The random ice block that Santa rocked up on all those years ago, that actually was on the moon, a frozen mass which fell to the island and slowly drifted over. It's moon ice, and that creature was an alien from the moon. Fortnite keeps getting weirder. Back on the island, the Origin believes the Paradigm is likely dead on the moon from exposure to the cold, but the Foundation refuses to let the mecha go unused. Spider-Man joins the conversation with a request. If you can get me back to my world, I can recruit a whole army of tough customers. Some of them have even been here before. The Order then whips out an IO portal device, the same kind we saw Agent Jones use in the Zero Crisis finale. The thing is though, it only has 2 charges remaining, so it's confirmed those portal devices are not unlimited. They are indeed finite, who'da thunk it? The Origin in particular wants Spider-Man to bring back the 2 superheroes that can manipulate the weather. Before I say who they are, here's 5 seconds, can you guess who the 2 Marvel heroes who can change the weather? Did you get it? Of course you did. It's Storm and Thor. Both have been here before. The scientist wants the pair to make the moon more habitable by changing the weather. Therefore, we can get to the moon and charge the mech ready for battle. And as we all know, that's exactly what we did. Everyone agrees, and Jones and Peter begin their adventure. But wait, there's a second mission given to us by the Origin himself. We need a flashback for this. During the Galactus event, it turns out the Devourer of Worlds dislodged a piece of the orb, and it was transported back to the Marvel world through that butterfly rift. And now, Origin wants it back. His plan is to use it on the broken mecha on the moon, to charge it quickly, just like the Paradigm did during the final showdown, charging it in seconds and not months. Suddenly, the sisters, Imagined and Order, chime in. My sister's going with you. It's not that we don't trust you, we just have a personal stake in this. And then the Imagined interrupts. It is that we don't trust you. Jones was one of them, and we don't know the skinny guy at all. If you've played Fortnite during Season 2 of this chapter, you'll know all about the memory loss of at least one of those sisters, and how they have been working alone on secret projects that the other members of the Seven don't know about. The sisters are looking like double agents, with an ulterior motive. But what could it be for? The Order must stay behind to fight, and the two hug it out. The Imagine says, they can't spare us both, Order. I'll be back soon, and we'll get what we waited so long for. I really don't trust those two. Jones takes the team to a waste disposal pipe. His plan is to get in through toxic waste. It's a little weird, and it involves piggybacking on the armoured members of the Seven, and then getting as close as possible. This means when they cloak and go invisible, so do the other two characters. After a scuffle or two, the team make it to a secret door. Oh, and I should say that the entire base is upside down right now. The flip made everything in IO's secret base completely the wrong way around. It's so confusing that Spider-Man asks if Mysterio is still playing tricks on him. This could be a simple nod to another character, or maybe Mysterio is coming to the future episodes. Fishbowl Head coming to Fortnite? We've already got a few fishbowls here already. Jones leads us to his former office. It's quite a sad moment this, he genuinely looks quite sad. Poor guy needs a moment to remember his former life. He then takes a photo as a memento before moving on. I used imposter mode to try and find that picture. It wasn't there, and only the wall images were present. I also checked the imposter's trailer and found this. Is this the image Jones treasures most? The OG astronaut skin from Season 3? Flex in the comments if you own it. The quartet finally make it to the 0 point. It lies in ruin from both being flipped and the IO's excavation above, creating the collider. Foundation tells us this is the source of everything, to which Spider-Man says, wow, I've never seen anything quite like this. And I fought a giant armadillo. Another name drop from Spider-Man. And he's totally right, he fought a guy called Antonio Rodriguez, who really was a giant armadillo. And I would totally buy that skin. The Foundation warns Peter to not touch the 0 point until it's calibrated. We've seen what happens if you touch it too early. Eternal Voyager did this in the Batman 0 point run, and was torn into a million pieces spread across unlimited realities. So yes, Spidey, don't touch it. Suddenly the Foundation is shot in the back. Sloan and Gunner appear. IO expected Jones to come through his office and set up an alarm. Mid-battle, Jonesy tells us where Geno is. The problem is he thinks Geno is Gunner. He honestly thinks Gunner and Geno are the same person. Sloan laughs and says, you think Geno has time to waste on the likes of you, Jones? Rewind back to chapter 2, and the entire promise Jones made to the Foundation was to give him Geno.
Geno! I can get you to Geno.
And now we know he doesn't even know who Geno is. Jones is mortified. He's worked for IO for centuries, and Geno never knew he existed. Right in the feels. Wait a second, he's worked for IO for centuries? I may be reading too much into this, but this implies IO agents don't age the same way as you and I. And it also means that Jones is at the very least 200 years old. 200! I wonder how old Bunker Jonesy is. The fight continues as Jonesy frantically calibrates the 0 point. The second it is ready, Spider-Man picks him up and they both jump into the sphere. Spider-Man cleverly uses a web to reset the location so nobody can follow them. Big brain. Remember at the end of chapter 2, Gunner was completely outfought by the Foundation, having his face smashed into this unit. Then in chapter 3, he was given new super-powered gauntlets, and today we saw him use them. Gunner uppercuts the Foundation so hard, he flies through the ceiling and back above ground. He is formidable now. Sloane remains committed to the plan. The Collider will wipe out all her enemies in just a matter of days. We jump to Reality 616 with Spider-Man and Jones as they look up to see this sight. The Imagined has picked a fight with Carol Danvers in her first minute in this reality. Spider-Man quickly gets between the two and proclaims they are on the same side and attempts to get the Avengers together. Or to put it his way, we need a big hero meeting. The four of them travel to Avengers Mountain, the place the first Celestial visited Earth and gave us all life. It's found in the North Pole, so they travelled quite a long way. It somehow became the headquarters of Earth's mightiest heroes, even though it's in the remains of this thing. Inside we see Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Storm, She-Hulk, Black Panther, and of course Captain Marvel. All of these characters have been to the island before, but there are also others here, like Vision and Quicksilver. If you know the name of the other ones, please put it in the comments and I will pin your comment. Anyway, Spider-Man explains the war for the Zero Point, and immediately Iron Man takes over and organises everything, just like he did last time. And to his credit, he did save us last time. This leaves Jones, Peter and the Imagined to find the shard of the Zero Point as instructed by the Origin. And it just so happens to be 100 miles away. Coincidence. And now that brings us up to date. Back in the bar with Wolverine. Everyone is crazy drunk right now and still trying to convince Logan to join them. And as it turns out, he only needed to hear one thing. It'll be the best fight you ever had. Wolverine officially joins the team. The only thing to do now is set up the bad guys of this series. And it's Dr. Doom, watching from Doom Castle. He isn't doing this alone. Our final bombshell of the issue is simply one word: Geno. Geno and Dr. Doom are working together. They are one step ahead of our heroes. But wait, there's more. Geno officially invites Dr. Doom to the inner circle of the Imagined Order, a secret group who control all of reality. To be continued. I'm Adam, you're awesome. I hope you liked that. I'll see you again next month.